There he is!
He's watching at home. He's praying for KT.
Please, please, Nongshim, please let us be in the legend group. Let us join you.
A former Nongshim player himself.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I feel like it could work. Senna, very tricky to play out. I think this is like Nongshim saying it's a new era of our team. You know, we're a legend team. We can pilot the Senna into a Kalista draft like this. We're confident we can actually live through the mid game. We have a lot of mid game power here, and our late game is going to be very strong. We'll just completely outrange the Kalista later on. Forget about early. We're going to make it through. The top side of the map is really strong for us, and then we will later on be a force to be reckoned with. I think Nongshim of the past would have shied away from drafts like this. Nongshim last year, Nongshim even as far back as LCK Cup, probably like, well, that's a little bit too challenging. That's a little bit too difficult to pilot. You wouldn't trust Gio on a pick like this, but right now in his current form, I do feel like this pick, while risky, can work, and love to see the confidence.
Yeah, well, we'll just have to see how it goes, ladies and gentlemen. It's all on the line for DK and KT, even though they're not playing Nongshim. See whether they can bring them into the legend group.
Yeah. The guessing game that was played there is, man, Calyx just really wants to die.
No. Well, the handshake is going to come through, and he will flash away. Gets rendered, aiming, destroys a blast cone, and now Lucid coming on in will spot that Lehens and Gio are at least trying to keep an eye on this Blue Sentinel. It looks like Gideon is just going to give it up.
Blue buff.
Oh, Gideon giving some information away here as well, as he is going to be moving down towards the bottom side of the map.
Yeah, I don't know how well this is going to go for him, if I'm honest with you, Atlas. The timing of this is not great. Lucid doesn't have Smite, but he has the clear speed to take these Raptors out. Now we're going to have a level 2 battle, where he has the advantage.
Yeah, Lucid knows exactly what's going on here, as he just does a drive-by. Okay. Yeah. Aiming, just trying to dance around. Lucid just walks in. They want to kill the Hens, and they will be able to do so. Beryl looking for a bailout here, not able to get it, but it's a double kill as DK just lock down this bottom lane and destroy it.
How many chains you can hit often dictates how well this lane goes.
Oh, avoiding the knock-up there is King, and he's going to throw down the equalizer. Immediate flash as she avoids the Harpoon. Needed to do all of those things to live.
That's going to be the first Mountain Dragon here, going over to D+.
Yeah.
I think it might just be a 2-grub and out here for Gideon if he can get this first one without smiting. And then once Lucid shows up, he's even just going to commit to the first smite here.
Yeah.
As Rumble did back. So.
And he's right now making Xiu's life really hard. I really like this from Gideon, as the on-horn is going to sound. It does get the double knock-up though, and the outplay is gorgeous! Bellow's breath comes on through, but he's on the equalizer. And so he goes down, a little bit unfortunate, tried his very best, as now Lehens kind of getting ignored here. Calyx is fighting against Showmaker, but Showmaker getting the better end of it, throwing out the volley. Flash does have to come through, and Calyx not wanting to risk it.
Ultimately, he has to stand on equalizer. The placement is perfect as Gideon is in trouble.
Oh dear. He's going to flash. Blast Cone is going to be there, but Showmaker is looking to pick him up. Is the Seismic Shove available? Yes, it is, but now he has to walk into the other rocks, and that is going to be the kill going over to Showmaker.
Showmaker doesn't have his ult, but he doesn't necessarily need it here. Nongshim are just not able to get over here and contest, and that's going to be a 2-Drake lead here for D+. Lucid is here, Showmaker's here. His ult's not ready, but I don't know if he needs it, honestly.
Oh, Wind becomes lightning. Gio going to try and get himself out of there. Showmaker comes on over, and he might take a consolation Lehens, and that is absolutely going to be theirs. Fate's Call invested.
Lane can deny some farm from Showmaker, but I think he likes the denial of the Senna more. Gideon will, as a jungler, win this one.
Yeah, Xiu is going to look to try and get this on-horn over the top, and it's not going to work out. Now Showmaker turns up, Lucid going to be there as well, but Gideon, he's just going to be able to create the decoy, get himself out of there. Oh, nice seismic shot there onto Calyx, who does steal a call of the Forge Guard.
And try to make a cross map, and he just gave it over basically on a silver platter. And now we're looking for a hook.
Yeah, Lehens finds the max range onto Beryl. He's going to flash. Throws down the hostile takeover here as Lehens looking to try and stun off his teammates, but does not manage to do so. Teleport in from Calyx.
He has the Ornhorn, and there's no Renata ultimate anymore. This is a really nice setup here for the side of Nongshim for this Herald fight.
Yeah, Call of the Forge got advantage over to Nongshim. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's insane.
Well, in goes Lucid, looks for a little bit of an angle as Gideon. Warrior Trickster will be able to avoid any sort of engage. Another hook does come on through there as he equalizes a beautiful position. The Ram comes down as well, and my God, Lucid almost just dead. He gets bailed out, but I don't think they're getting a kill. As Xiu just trying to be a nuisance, and it does not work. Another one connects max range. He flashes away, and Lehen stays alive, but they don't quite have enough of the damage. And Xiu now just trying to run away, aiming. Oh dear, just needs a pierce to get himself in range, and that is a dead Senna. DK picking up the fact that Nongshim, without Equalizer, don't necessarily have the deeps to get through them at this stage.
Yeah, no, in fact, Whitey went down. Okay, Xiu just wants to farm.
Yeah, please let Xiu at least get the experience for the cannon, and he does. He'll get a double knock up here as well, but that turret is really dead. Showmaker is going to try and bail out his top laner though. Seismic Shove goes wide, and Xiu is still going to go down. Showmaker, can you do it? You're in melee range against a Silas and a Rumble. The bailout's immediate, but it does not matter. He's still going to get put down, and Calix will be able to get that kill. A 2-for-1. And DK was able to also get the Rift Herald, so that's also a big deal. Nongshim, they're going to collect themselves this outer turret on the bottom side, but Rift Herald might be able to get 2 turrets, which is, I think, a bit of a bigger deal. As alright, Equalizer just to clear out the wave, but it doesn't clear the Rift Herald. Now Kingan's going to get knocked up. Fate's Call for another knock-up as he gets handshook and destroyed. Xiu gets his revenge as he's now level 11 on this on, feeling a lot better.
Well, I don't think so, man.
Have any right to go for it exactly.
I mean, maybe if somebody bathed weird here in the jungle, you could get a catch, and they're just going to push for this inner, I suppose, while they're backing. Could still look for a fight later as Weaver's Wall.
Yeah, they're going to try and catch out Calix here as he holds onto the Seismic Shove, and there it is. It does not connect, and he has to flash to get over the wall. Yep, Xiu's now back with the rest of the team as Calix on a bit of a flank angle. This is going to be a 50-50. The Equalizer goes down. There are Rams everywhere. My goodness, what happened at the farm as the Fate's Call is going to come through to get Beryl out of dodge. Xiu's in trouble, but he flashes to get out of the way. Beryl is in a really rough spot. But Lens is also, as he's taken down exceptionally low. Oh God, the 5 versus 5 Alcove Gaming is going to ensue. The health bars on DK are so low, but they're still just going to try and walk it off. Xiu's health bar is decent as Xiu gets the knock up. Calix is going to get closed in on by Lucid, who's just looking for the 1v1 into the Silas, and maybe he's going to be able to do it. He finds the win, becomes lightning, and how are DK still alive?
Oh, Lucid might just get out too. King
the flash forward from King and BS knocked up. Lucid is a god. This guy doesn't make sense. He will die in the end, but he saved that whole fight for DK.
Yeah, let's see if anyone else can get out here. I mean, they're chasing deep. I don't know if Nongshim should be actually going this far into this situation.
I don't think DK should be walking back.
Yeah, no, you got out. You got out. Showmaker does show up here, TP'd in.
Yeah, Seismic Shove does nothing at all, but Lance is still going to be dead. They do get Beryl, so it's a 1-for-1, but now in this 2v2, I'm feeling like DK are feeling happy about it. There it is, the double for aiming, and the surprise Teemo face. I guess it's free soul. Build a wall, take a dragon.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, easiest Cloud Soul of their lives. Snare going to connect. As alright, the Ram is going to get called. We'll see what Xiu can make of it as Lehens goes in. The follow-up is a little bit late, but the Equalizer is still fantastic. The hostile takeover is even better. 3-man knockup from Xiu, but still they are cooking. They are getting murdered as Gideon gets into that backline. Lucid and Xiu are still up, but they've lost everyone else. Nongshim still managed to make it an even trade after losing the Drake, and I say even, Gideon's still dead.
I mean, it's still, ends up being a fairly close game here in terms of gold, but the Cloud Soul value is going to be here for D+.
I feel like his mojo has returned for this match against the Noodles.
All right, Calix left alone here. We'll try to clear this wave.
Sorry about the caster curse. Seismic Shove is going to come through. Never mind, it's Calix by himself. The flash forward from Beryl to find the handshake and get the kill. My goat right there is now Xiu could be in a bunch of trouble. The Ram is going to come through though, and he doesn't get the knock-up. So still will be going down. That could have been really cute, but that's a great interruption.
Like every single one, and they don't get to dictate the pace. And so D+ have all the options here. Showmaker's wall is the first.
Yeah, he's going to build that wall. The Equalizer is helping DK take this Baron right now as the wall will come down. Gideon's going to make it a 50-50, but it's the Rend that locks it down. And then the monkey dies. Lucid gets into that backline, and Beryl is going to join in with the Fate's Call. Lands in so much trouble, and aiming is throwing sticks all over the place. Xiu, the last man standing once again, and he'll get shoved seismically into the death chamber.
D+,
DK, I think this might be the end of the game.
I think so. Their objective control with this early game comp, the bottom side control they played through was brilliant. All 4 dragons to them. and a Baron to boot. It's never a 50-50 when you've got a Kalista with those sticks in the Baron. Gideon tried his best there, but he won't win it in the end. And D+ off to a confident start here.
Yep. There is another wall. You can build that, but DK, they have the ability to knock it down as they have this on. First Nexus turret going to go down. Still waiting on Kingen and Jiu to respawn, and I think the Nexus is not long for the world. However, DK do need to win another fight, and in fact, they just will. That's a decent way to do it. Nexus next going to go down, and Kingen not even allowed to try and fight back.
And, you know, showing up like this is what Nongshim predictors like myself were worried about for D+. That wasn't going to happen, but it is happening for them. They are looking good today. Lucid looking phenomenal. Showmaker, amazing performance. Shiu doing well under pressure. You know, his lane was not a winnable one, and they camped him.
From tilt. Yeah. Recovering from tilt is impressive.
Camped him. I mean, the fact that Rel seems like the obvious answer, but he's going
Morgana! Okay, you can't pillar that. That doesn't break the shield.
Yeah, you can block charms of multiple types. Yeah, but I suppose that's really it. The Kai'Sa here would have been strong into the Ezreal that I would have recommended. I thought we were going to see that Ezreal Leona setup here for Nongshim, but it also is great with Ahri, great with Rakan. Amazing, mastery of the champion is what Aiming has. He's very famed for his Kai'Sa. Even back when Kai'Sa was being played AP, he had so many good games of it back in that era as well. I think the draft here is really strong for Nongshim in terms of the early prio, though. They have the Azir into the Ahri, which, you know, can go both ways, but you have Jace into Yorick, which, if played really well, I think the Jace does edge out a little bit. And then on the bottom side of the map, the fact that Morgana can really help push those waves in, and you have an MF there into the Kai'Sa, means that's kind of a guaranteed W.
Because I don't think the DK are going to be stacking up. See how it goes. We hop into the Rift for the deciding, potentially, game number 2.
Really crush this lane, but even if he doesn't, and he just keeps pooling these minions and helps push the wave in, then you'll always have prio here.
But not as we saw from the LCK lols. Is okay, Barrel's making his way over. Grand Entrance gets the flash.
All right.
That's pretty good value as Showmaker comes on over, gets a cheeky little heal, and Beryl says, all right. It's dark and full of terrors in that jungle. Do not go in. Do not go in! Do not go in! Dark Binding going to connect. And the Ghoulie Wall is going to at least save his life. Does have to flash, though. And it's working out. Having a bit of a check-in here towards the mid lane as Showmaker looking a little worse for where the Electrocute comes down. And another one through from Beryl, the charm point blank. But Calyx just going to walk it off. And he will be okay.
Because, you know, he's not going to be pushing side lanes in right now.
And these pesky minions. Oh, dear. There's another Grand Entrance from Beryl as Kingen taking a bit of damage, but Aiming unable to follow up. And there it goes. Successful denial here by DK. Staying frustrating. Did cost them a bit of health bar, but they got what they came for.
Lucid is here. Kingen still has his flash. Needs to thin this wave out. A lot of it's super low.
Well, let's see what Kingen can get done here as the knockup does come on through, and that should spell the end. That is first blood going over to the Gold King himself. Get a little bit of a fight happening that is going to work out their way. Lahen's still looking for those soul shackles as Glacial Prison immediately cleansed there by Aiming. Still high value from Gideon to be able to get that summoner spell, but not going to be able to get any kills just yet. Just have to settle for the plate and the summoner.
Gideon does have smite.
Yeah, Beryl coming on over. No quickness. He's level 4. Lahen's is level 6. This is actually a huge deal as the charm is going to connect. Second grub does go down as Lucid gets into the pit. Let's see whether he can keep himself alive as Showmaker gets in there. Orbit Deception is decent. As DK, they just do a little bit of a wraparound. Lucid decides that he wants to just flash over the wall, and they give up all 3 of the grubs.
Yeah, Lahen's was shackling him, so he decided he needed to get out of there, otherwise would have been burst down. This is a bit awkward, though.
Yeah, Lucid walks up to them and then walks away.
So,
so giving away this dragon, not going to be end of the world for DK. Probably do want to put Nongshim on the clock just a little bit, but they don't have to fight. Oh, wow.
But it was the right choice to let it die.
Yeah, it was the right choice. However, still just really, really nice.
Shirelli is.
Try and save her is okay. Then Lahen's is flashing for this one as the Soul Shackles do go down. Teleport to come forward as DK just looking to stand their ground. Jiu in so much trouble, and this is Showmaker's domain. He's able to dash wherever he'd like, finds the charm, and everyone on Nongshim instantly on the floor. They'll augment that with Shelly. So, look, I don't know. And she is also not going to be there.
Yeah.
The good news doesn't really happen as Beryl, quickness comes down, and Jiu, yeah, the shield was there, but his life is now gone. Gideon is also just dead, and Lucid gets distracted by Calyx, dodges 2 ultimates, and eats the piggy. She are now looking to take down the pigeon here on the bottom side of the map, but there is a turret available. And DK are just winning everywhere now.
Yeah, Nongshim are doing the classic.
No, everything's missing!
Oh, God.
The flash charm is so beautiful. The shovel from Xiu finds the pigeon.
I mean, this is a classic lose the team fight and try to get a turret angle here for Nongshim. I think we might have had one of each in that last play that was on Dragon's King, and will trade his life and maybe a kill?
Well, no. I'm not sure whether Lucid's going to be going down here. Gideon going to show up. There's no subjugate this time around as aiming is fighting Lucid. Knock-up is good. Charm is even better as Gideon turns it on to Beryl. Doesn't have Battle Dance. He's just dead. Sometimes Beryl just wants to die, and we don't necessarily know why. Rhyme unintentional.
Yeah, I mean, it's Beryl versus Lehens here, so somewhat even in gold.
It was just a random ghoul fighting the Raptors. It was so weird.
That was weird.
Nongshim are just not getting the attention that they want, as all of them are just wandering around the enemy jungle, and DK just aren't in the same area.
So, okay.
All right, there is the kitchen sink thrown at the Yorick, and he will get taken down. Takes them a little while to get him as Showmaker comes over, offers a bit of poke damage as well. They realize that they are in their jungle, but that means that aiming heads towards the top side, pushes out the wave, gets the turret. This inner is going to be in trouble, but the Otacon is going down.
I think they need to get more than this inner if they're going to make this trade work. Lehen's just hanging out, being annoying.
I mean,
buying time for Gideon to come over, I guess?
Yeah, Voidseeker is going to connect onto Gideon, gives him the information that he is in the area. Showmaker turns up as well. It's going to be a 50-50 on this smite. Great news for Nongshim, because remember, they've already got that turret. Dark Binding collected here by Showmaker. He also gets tagged by the Shock Blast.
I mean, Nongshim have control over this Otacon now. I don't know if they should hold it. I think they should just leave. Look for King to go over here and get some more Shock Blast damage.
The information is still there. The ward was already set up. Beryl still gets hit. Because of course he does. And now we're just going to be backing away.
Not if he misses.
Oh, it tags Lehens as well. There could be a delivery as there's a subjugation. The prison goes down, and that is the secure of the Otacon, but immediately the jungler does go down. Showmaker goes in, but the Dark Binding was so good! Into the backline goes Beryl, though the quickness charms up 3. The Empress Divide does absolutely nothing, but Kingin does everything! And almost survives for so incredibly long. Nongshim going to win the fight and get the Otacon.
The first miss was really scary. Missed Lucid on that binding, and I was like, well, this is just going to be a 50-50, isn't it, Atlas? But the second hit is massive, and now they're in control.
Yeah, and Lucid is not. He is relatively tanky, but doesn't have Subjugate, and as soon as he doesn't have Subjugate, things are problematic. Yeah, this Baron is basically just gone. They get the information, but Beryl, nothing he can do about it as Showmaker. He's going to dash in. It's not going to happen as Beryl almost gets that smite off in time.
That was so scary, Atlas, for Nongshim.
Trying to get some damage on this turret. Going to be successfully able to do so as well. As, all right, Showmaker finds the charm! He dashes in, Kingin's able to get himself out though, and Beryl just explodes! He disappears in the blink of an eye. Now Calyx is rotating over. They've got another Dark Binding. That's going to connect onto Lucid. He goes down, and Nongshim, they're going to make DK work for it. They're looking to take this game right here, right now.
Oh man, Beryl feeling the pressure here. No longer able to just go straight to Legend. They're going to have to win the next game and beat KT in a potential tiebreaker.
And there he is. That's what he was looking for on the top side of the map, Wolf. Calyx finds the sweep, and the Nexus goes down. The Noodle Boys staying in the series.
Oh man, what a game that was. It looked like D+ had so much control. They were getting the early objectives. They lost a lot of turrets, but the fights looked like they were going to go well for them. Aiming was incredibly fed, but look at his damage. He's not able to make it impactful in team fights. So many big bindings from Lehens, and
피터랑 리엔즈는 다르긴 해. 야!
Just can't be mad. You can't be 문제가 없까지.
정말 너무
야,
좋아하고
현빈아 멋있다. 지우야 멋있다. 기도는 멋있다. 리엔즈 형. 야!
Winging.
This
So
works.
Maybe it's Annie. Yeah. Oh, Neela insta-lock. Okay, Jiu. Okay, mate. His signature pick. He's waited until the very last game of the season to lock it in. Neela Alistair.
Okay, well, this is going to be crazy. Remember, Neela is going to help Alistair get to that critical level 6 a little bit faster with her passive, and Alistair hitting level 6, fighting around that really strong top side Renekton Italy that you have. If you can get just a little bit of power early in this draft, or rather in this game with this draft, then you can hit that 2-item spike on Corki and start to run the game and just never let go of control. On the side of D+, though, they have Annie, which can warp all of these fights, mess up every single combo you're trying to set up, but Neela is so mobile. Like, of the 80 carries that you're going to hit a stun on with Annie, she's not really at the top of the list.
You know, right here, right now, into Jiu's Neela. Oh my god, cinema, ladies and gentlemen.
This level 1 here, going to be pretty good for barrel and aiming, but Jiu with his passive is going to be helping Lehens get to level 6 as fast as possible, but the experience lead is starting to be felt here. They both have incredibly strong level 6s.
Oh, there's a headbutt back onto aiming. He does get exhausted, but look at Beryl with the door. He's going to flash to get himself out of the way, and it's a lot of summoner spells. But still, they do keep themselves alive. There's at least that. Yeah. Teleport comes in from Xiu as well. It's a bit of a battle for these Raptors. Hex flash over the wall for Lehens. Not too much going to come of it, as in the mid lane, however, wasn't concentrating on that. There's a bear.
Yeah, level 6 advantage for Showmaker coming in big.
The turret is a little bit too aggressive. Pulverize is going to connect once again onto Beryl. He stands beside aiming, though. And, oh, there's the solo kill for Showmaker!
Oh, that's
How
big.
did we need to go back to that? It's just a random pyroblast flying through the air. Thanks, Jonas Strong, for catching it.
Let's see. Calyx gets low. Showmaker gets the stun here. Tibros goes through. We already saw this part. Valkyrie's away.
And then he gets the auto, but he sticks around.
And Showmaker just flash Q. Any late flashes. That's not it.
That's called a whoopsie. That's an unforced error. As all right, we are setting up a trap. Jiu comes in, he's got that apotheosis at the ready. He is going to use it, finds the pullback onto aiming, and he's just throwing that whip around. He'll take down the Lucian and look to push that wave in. Nice answer here from Nongshim. Would have been better if Calyx had a live.
Yeah.
It's going to keep that health bar a little bit further up, as Lucid thankfully doesn't walk in to Lehens and Jiu. Holding on to the headbutt for now is Lehens, and now they dive onto Jiu here. The instant exhaust comes through, two-man pulverize from Lehens as Beryl puts up the door. Lucid's still gonna die though, as once again Calyx so low, but this time Showmaker can't finish him off, and it is just a dead Pantheon.
Overreactive play from Lucid that gives Nongshim all of the grubs here.
Away with it. He's the only champion that truly outranges Showmaker outside of Gideon, who just wants to throw some spears around. And so the Annie can be a huge problem in this game. As Showmaker, Molten Shield, it's a bit of extra movement speed. As now, oh, Jiu is thinking about going for the angle. Headbutt going to get flashed there by Showmaker. Trading it for Lehens though, and flash down on Annie. We've said it a billion times over the years. Very, very important, as Lehens is not giving up. We'll see whether it is going to be something like an Ocean we have already had today. As okay, Lehens going to be charging up the flash, but the concussive blows are going to come through. Stand beside Braum as there's the apotheosis gets flashed this time around, and the Winter's Bite. They really wanted to land that one. Stun goes down onto Lehens. The exhaust onto Lucid. He's going to buy some space, and the spear picks the gap and takes down the cow. DK back on the board, evening out the kills.
Okay, if they get aiming with an apotheosis, there's an angle.
No, there's a concussive blows, but he's able to press that W in time. Still, it's not quite enough as the cleanse comes out. It's not enough. And the Lucian able to take him down. Gideon gets over the wall, but the exhaust is still there, and Xiu has teleported in. Great headbutt from Lehens to try and save Calyx, but it's not going to save them from losing so many of these objectives, and the wallet is still going to connect. I said wallet, and it's kind of working here because he had a lot more money than Lehens. That was a really good angle on the Gnar there as well from Xiu. This guy looking so good on this pick. From the brush, like Lehens didn't even really see it. It was actually very, very cute. As him and Jiu are now slightly out of position, as we can see here, as the concussive blows comes down. No unbreakable will, and they're going to break that will, as you can see there. And DK They did pick up the Rift Herald. That's going to be slammed into the mid lane here. Let's see whether Xiu can escape from this one. Gideon hopping forward. Speaking of hops, Xiu wants a target to hop onto, and he's not quite going to be. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Okay, never minding.
Never mind.
As I didn't quite see the fact that Leandre's was completed, so the burn is going to be enough. Bye-bye, Xiu. And
Lucid
he is
lives.
in between some turrets. He's not allowed to be near.
They are looking to lose 2 inners for this, and I think Nongshim are kind of priced into it now.
Well, Beryl and Showmaker are here as well, and with 5 people in the bottom lane, I don't think the Annie and Braum are going to be enough to defend this. So Inhibitor does go down.
Nongshim are changing the meta, man. They're like, let's just kill the Nexus.
All right, well, that might actually work. There's no wave clear. So there's the ulti out of Beryl, as now the Grand Starfall comes in, and maybe they've overextended. Never mind, the Tibbers not going to find the stuns that they're looking for. Tibbers does come back. Beryl gives them the door, stands beside his teammates, and now the culling. Gonna get tanked by one animal after another, and the stun up onto Kingin. No Dominus for you, and now they're hunting down Lahens at the same time. A huge teleport for a Showmaker is coming in at the same time. He's looking to block them off, as Calyx, they are just looking for this Hex Tech. Oh no. Xiu, he's going to die because of this one as he finds the Pyroblast, and now Showmaker wanting to find even more. We can see Gideon and Calyx are out of there. But DK, remember their base is in complete shambles. Why, Beryl? Okay, he's over.
If there was a strong side lane champion like a Jax, you know, if you're a Camille, maybe you could say this is worth.
Well, maybe this is worth as well. So, okay, Lucid is taking so much damage. Great knockup, though, from Beryl as Lahens is going to get taken down, and Kingin is going to get cold. It's a double kill for Aiming, who's now looking for even more. Xiu going to have to flash to get away, and Showmaker, he is looming. He doesn't have flash, as the house is going to miss. And so is everything else. Oh, that house does actually connect, but Xiu able to walk it off as Tibbers just scouting the area. Well, he's there now. Okay.
He's like, okay, exit kills.
If he had package.
Exit kills.
Oh, I believe he was just spotted. Okay, well, Phosphorus Bomb going to give away his position. Xiu and Gideon moving in. We've got backs coming on through. And Beryl going to get engaged on and should be going down. There's the kill going over to Gideon. And the rest of DK trying to fight this one out. Gideon goes golden in the nick of time, but then Mega Gnar's going to be there as well. The trade comes through, the Pulverize. And I don't think DK needed to all stick around, but they did. They did get a kill on Gideon, but they lose 3. Yeah, down to 3,000 health. Lucid in the area, headbutt Pulv. They're going to try and take him down. Beryl puts up the door, though. That's going to deny a lot. As Showmaker gets the bear over the wall. King now Dominus into the backline, gets a huge shield from the Sterix, and the Apotheosis connects as well. Xiu will eventually go down as Kingin. His job is now over as he has no health left, and they didn't have enough damage to take them down. Xiu going to look for another house. Houses are really big. How do all of these miss? But still, he's going to be able to lock down the kill. And Calyx is just vacated.
Yeah, he's too broken up.
And it's continuing here. Wolf as well as the flash forward onto Gideon. He goes golden. A see your death moment as Lucid is going to put a spear in him. Well, that is Jungler dead, and a Baron now up towards this river. He's getting angry. Calyx is getting in trouble as Kingin, exactly right, is on that flank angle. As Lahens takes the culling, they need to. Oh, they find it! Xiu dives on top, finds a Nara onto 2. Xiu gonna go down. Lahens gonna follow, and Kingin once again dives in just to go down. And there is the Baron play for DK. This third game should equal a tiebreaker between DK and KT. The most beautiful scripted moment here in the LCK. Inhibitor soon to follow. Bottom lane as well is fresh for the taking. Calyx finds a bit of damage with that big one as they deliver Kingin towards the backline. That's kind of where Kingin wants to be. Never mind, he doesn't want to be there. It is a lot of damage available here. Another culling tanked fully by Lahens, and he will go down. Aiming just destroying his former teammate there towards the bottom side as Xiu's going rogue. The rest of the team are looking for an angle, but Xiu's just dead. This Nara is doing so much work. Flashes forward. Gideon again going golden just to die immediately afterwards. And DK keep their hopes alive here in the LCK. It is tiebreaker time. Wednesday this week. Oh, I can't wait. This is exactly what we needed. I don't know whether we deserved it. I don't know whether it's good for our hearts. But it is definitely fun.
See which team deserves it on the cutoff day. And the cutoff day is now Wednesday for these two teams. It should have been today. But Showmaker is One opportunity, one more 91. I don't think so. It's special.
Oh.
Tiebreaker match 1.
I don't want to look at this.
Yeah, well, it didn't work. The aiming damage was high, so I feel good about my vote.
Yeah, he did the boom boom. His opponent did not do the boom boom. So he did very well denying the boom boom from the other team and did the boom boom himself. It was a cute idea here for Nongshim. The Nila, when it got locked in, we all had those memories as Lucid is going to pick it up. I feel like the crowd made a lot of different noises as that happened as well, because I imagine a lot of people had a lot of different ideas. Did manage to win in the end on the Pantheon, had some great flash stuns and things like that as well. I think for me, it was all about game 1.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Steer for the POM interview translation, joined by Lucid on the side of D plus Kia. So with the tiebreaker against KT happening, you get to keep the hopes up for Group Legend alive. How do you feel? Today's match was so crucial. I think we were able to definitely close it out with a 2-0, but I'm still glad, despite being a bit disappointed that we couldn't actually close it out. We could really feel the desperation in your gameplay today. So how are you feeling on your way to the venue today? My mindset was that, no matter what, we just have to win. There is no other answer. But I think I definitely had some jitters. I was actually really shocked and startled when the enemy just popped out of nowhere at this one point during the match. So I did have a bit of nerves today. In game 1, D plus Kia got some high-tier picks. And in response, the enemy took Senna and Silas to take value for their team comp. So what was your game plan? Yeah, Senna and Silas has a lot. Pretty high value, but I thought that our comp had even higher value than them. So I think it was just really a lot of brawls and a lot of skills, team fighting involved in that game especially. So I think yours and Zhao did a lot today in game 1. So did you feel like you did a lot? And how happy were you with your own performance? I think I was able to carry out my role, but I think I definitely could have done better overall. And so after game 2, what was the feedback? I think for game 2, there were just some of the things that we had to cover in regards to our mistakes and just catching those moments that we can actually utilize to turn the game around. And then we talked about game 3. And in the end, we got a series. So what direction did you take for your draft in the last game? Since we were blue side, I think we were able to take a good champion as our first B1 pick. And I think we were able to really pull that off, and we got a good pick in game 3. And this upcoming Wednesday, June 4th, you will have a tiebreaker for 5th place against KT Rolster. So what do you have to say? We will win no matter what. So if you can support us just as you did today, I would be really grateful. And that's the end of the interview with Lucid, and back to the space. Thank you.